Welcome in, everybody, to the In Off the Bench podcast. My name is Jim Cross. I'm joined, as always, by my best friend, my co-host, Daniel Ball. And tonight, mixing it up, we've been talking baseball the last couple episodes, but we got to get back to gymnastics, Daniel. And tonight, we're talking to somebody who is not at Oklahoma yet, but man, I can't wait till she is. Kenzie Estep, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We're stoked to have you. A lot of different things we could do for icebreakers, but I always feel like the most fun one we can do is I got to ask you, what was the last movie you went and saw in theaters?
Oh, I feel like the last movie I went and saw in theaters was probably like Top Gun 2.
Solid movie too.
Yeah.
Are you someone who enjoys a good action movie?
Yeah.
What
I
would
love
you
a little bit of
say?
suspense.
What would you say is your favorite movie?
Oh, I feel like that's a hard question. I feel like with Valentine's Day just happening, I've been going through like all the rom-coms. I would say The Proposal is probably my favorite.
Solid. Ryan Reynolds. Daniel probably hadn't even seen it.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Not a chance.
I mean, you said you watched the Ella Murphy episode. He owned that he is not a rom-com guy. I absolutely am, but I like the action movies. I probably watch way too many movies where Daniel doesn't have time for them. So that's really just the reality when it comes down to it.
I mean, I'm too busy watching Bluey and all that other junk. I mean,
He gets on yesterday, Mackenzie, before our guest comes on, and he's playing this weird music. I'm like, what are you listening to? He's like, and he tells me, and I'm like, why are you listening to that? He's like, because I got a 7-year-old, dude. Like, we don't listen to the same music. You're fixing to play it, aren't you? I don't even hear nothing. Thank goodness you're playing nothing. The last thing, and then we'll get into your story. This is a fun one. I like to ask the ladies, if you could be any Disney character, that don't mean a princess, like any Disney character, who would you be?
I'd probably be Rapunzel. I feel like that's my favorite Disney movie,
And yet you don't have long blonde hair. Like,
I do
like
not know. I wish I did.
I mean,
she got some nice hair. I don't know if she needs it, man. Nice and straight and clean.
She just became best friends with my daughter. She loves Rapunzel. She would just actually, there was a book character fair day, and she dressed up like Rapunzel.
Rapunzel's, yeah, it's a great movie.
Daniel has the luxury of living rock throwing distance from Disney, so he can take his daughters there anytime.
That's cool.
No, man, not anytime. Let's stop with all that. Mackenzie, let's get into this. Obviously, you are highly touted, and based on what we've seen so far, and what's happened recently, you are highly touted, and you're going to Oklahoma, and we're going to get into all that. But I first want to start with talking about home. Where is home for you?
Yeah, home's Auburn, Washington, so just like 45 minutes out of the Seattle area.
Man, that is a long way from Oklahoma.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's a long way from everything.
Everywhere. So if I was to visit your hometown, what is the one thing that I have to do or experience or eat or see?
I feel like, the drive's a little bit, but I feel like you have to go see Mount Rainier.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What's is it hiking? Is it skiing? Is it like what do you get there?
I feel like honestly the view is really what you go there for, but the skiing's pretty great as well. Nice. And the hikes are pretty cool too.
Don't tell Coach Bobby. He'll be over there.
I tell you, I've told this to any of the guests we've had that are up in Washington State. My dad was stationed all over the world, not just the United States, and he'd been all over Europe and everything. And he stands firm that Washington was the most beautiful place he's ever lived.
Yeah, it really is. The natural beauty here is unreal.
I've heard good things about, Washington State and Oregon and Northern California. I've been to Northern California, but no further than that. But yeah, it was beautiful. It was nice. It was much different than what I expected. But
yeah.
With you, obviously, family is important. You got mom, dad, you got a sister, Katie, who's on the U.S. weightlifting team. What?
Yes.
All right, let's chat about this. I don't want to make it about Katie. I want to make it about you, but I am curious. What are her lift numbers? Do you even know?
I probably don't know them like off the top of my head, but I mean, I think she can snatch like 100 kilograms, maybe a little bit more. I mean, I don't know her. Like...
She understands because she said snatch. Most people don't even know that workout at all.
I mean, it's talking about Olympic lifting here, man. For those of us that are American, Kenzie, how many is 100 kilograms in pounds?
I mean, the conversion factors, I think 2.2, so just over. I mean, 100 times 2.2, so like just a couple over 220 ish.
Why are you trying to look? Okay, why are you trying to hit her with that? And I read questions
because I didn't know, and I wanted to know in pounds.
I've read questions that she's answered. Math is her subject, bro. You better step back.
Then good. I asked the right person the question because I knew you wouldn't know, and I knew that 100 kilograms. I knew it would be more than.
I think I saw you do it on your phone before you asked her. If I'm being honest,
I was about to, honestly, but I didn't. I just know she's stronger than both. Jim
I just know your family is killing it. Like your parents got to be proud because you're competing at an elite level, and so is your sister. Like Daniel, we talk about girl dads. Like, bro, you imagine you had both of them competing at that level?
I mean, that's the dream. That's the hope. I mean, we got some time to get there, but I mean, they got to put in the work. So
well, you do have the gymnast already, and maybe the younger one will be the weightlifter. It could follow just like the Estep's got it going.
I mean, that would be legit, and I could say that Mackenzie, you and your family were our inspiration. I could say that.
Thank you.
You never knew what coming on this podcast was going to do.
But yes, okay. Now we have to talk gym, all right, because that's what you came on here to do. As a gymnast, are you idolizing and looking up to other gymnasts growing up, or is there different athletes that you look up to, or you don't even look up to athletes? They're not really your inspiration. It's somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can really find inspiration anywhere. Obviously, gymnastics was definitely what I looked up to as a little kid, just because I was in that sport. And so watching the Olympics was definitely a dream of mine as like a little kid. But I think there's so many amazing athletes there that you can find little snippets of everybody's story and kind of find inspiration from them as well.
Definitely. So who's the one athlete that you kind of gravitated to?
Yeah, football's pretty big in my family, so I feel like Tom Brady was always pretty cool. Oh, I respected his his dynasty that he created, and I feel like sometimes when you form a dynasty, some hate kind of comes along just because everybody wants to see somebody new. But I respect his kind of adversity, that all the adversity that he faced, and being able to kind of come back and prove all the haters wrong. And
I mean, I think it's good that you feel that way, because I'm gonna be honest, in the gymnastics world, me and Daniel hear it, like there's a lot of haters on Oklahoma, so you're gonna fit right in Tom Brady style.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of, I grew more respect as I joined Oklahoma towards Tom Brady, because I was like, you know what, like I think it's important that you support the dynasty sometimes.
Yeah. Hate us because they ain't us, is what they say.
I told him, Mackenzie, in Fort Worth last year, and I had to teach my son a valuable lesson. Utah and Florida were actively cheering and excited as Oklahoma girls were falling on vault. And I had to teach him that we never, even if we're rooting against the team, we never cheer for others having failures and having things go wrong. Yeah. And the reason I bring that story up is Oklahoma is so good that, people actively like root like that against them. And to me, like you should just want to beat them straight up. Be the better team. Don't root for their failure.
Yeah, I feel like you never want to root for somebody to have a bad day. You just want you to have a better day. Yeah,
and plus, if you're going to beat somebody, you don't want to beat them because they beat themselves. You want to beat them because you earned it, not because they gave it to you.
I mean, I think last year, Daniel, when we interviewed the Cal girls, they all said that they weren't upset. Like LSU was just the better team. They were there. They did everything right. And I think that's the way you should feel.
Yeah, it should definitely be like you left everything you had out on the floor.
Yep. And if that's a win, great. If not, then at least you can hold your head up high when you walk and pillow your head well at night.
Exactly.
The big thing is we got to get to this, right? 2025 Nastia Lukin Cup all around champion. I mean, not silver medal, not bronze, the champ. The champ. What does it feel like being the champ of a event that prestigious and with that caliber of athletes there?
Yeah, it's definitely super surreal. It being my 5th year and going up my senior year and winning it was definitely something I couldn't have scripted better. I'm just super grateful for the experience and just all the things that I've learned along the way, being there 5 times. And I mean, I think winning it wasn't even, I mean, it was a great experience, but just being there to just say I was there was, I think, a win in itself.
Looking at the list and seeing the names and where they were committed to is exciting too, because as college gymnastics is getting bigger and bigger, to know that all these girls and all this talent we're fixing to get to see next year.
Yeah, there's so many amazing people at that competition. It's just crazy to look around and see all the people and all their hard work paying off. And some of those people are my best friends, so it's great just to see everybody be able to kind of show what they've been working and have us all in one place where we get to cheer for each other's. It's a great experience.
Definitely. Now, did everything, execution on all of the rotations and events, did that go, as perfect as you could have scripted it, or were there some ups or there's some downs? Like, how did it all play out?
Yeah. There's obviously some room for improvement everywhere. I mean, there were no 10s thrown to me, so obviously there are things that I could clean up. But I mean, overall, I would say that it was a pretty great day for me. I think the highlight would definitely have been my vault.
That's why I had to put that clip in there. That was beautiful.
Thank you. But yeah, so obviously some missed casts and some things that I could clean up, some landings, but overall, it got the job done. So I was just super grateful.
Well, if you're looking for 10s, for whatever reason, they don't exist anymore. It's 9975. That's the highest score these days.
Yeah.
10 is eliminated. So.
I mean, that Jordan Bowers clip that I'm going to play here shortly when we talk about that, I mean, I don't know. They will not give her a 10. Like, I mean, I don't know how much better you can do it. And that's for a lot of girls. That isn't just Oklahoma specific, but I watched that thing and I've watched her every week. Me and Daniel talked about it. Her average score is a 996, and it's because she doesn't get lower than 995. But the reality is, you know, a lot of these girls who have average scores because they're getting 10s and then maybe they're getting 9.9s. Now, Jordan, she's consistently just there, but for whatever reason, they are not going to give her that 10.
Yeah.
It's because
deserves it.
It's because KJ had something to say about it. Now they're all hurt. They're in their feels.
Well, I'll tell you at the Elevate the Stage quad, Cal was getting underscored on bars, Daniel, and I was sitting with Ella Cesara's dad, and he said, "Look, she's going over there," and sure enough, she walked right over to the head judge and lit him up. I was like, "Look at that."
Standing up for your athletes, you got to respect it.
In basketball, you can get technicals and like you can get flags in football. Like, what is the penalty for something like that in gymnastics? Like, what you get deductions, or is there even a such thing?
Do not know. Yeah.
For unsportsmanlike conduct, 10th of a deduction. Like, that would be bizarre. I don't know.
I don't.
But I wouldn't be if I'm a gymnast and my coach stood up to me and I got a deduction because they stood up for me. I'm not going to be mad because you want your coach to go to war for you.
I mean, it's a valid question. In every other sport, there's you just can't go out there and just berate the judge or the umpire or the referee without there being some type of penalty. I mean, even in baseball, you can get ejected. They'll tell you to have a nice day and go watch it from the car. But for you, Kenzie, what is your most favorite place? Obviously, being an elite level gymnast, you've been able to travel all over, maybe the country and probably maybe the world, for that fact. But where's your most favorite place or most memorable place that you've ever competed?
I feel like memorable and favorite would be like two different places, but
Give me them both. Let's
Okay.
go.
Favorite place, just like location wise, I would say I love traveling to like Utah and Colorado just to see the mountains. I think the air is super fresh around mountains, so I just love traveling to anywhere that has snow because we don't get like that much snow during the year in Washington. So I think it's really beautiful when you travel to places that have the big mountains and the snow and our seasons during the winter. So it kind of gives like a winter vibe. So I always like traveling to those places. My most memorable would probably be Nationals in 2023 in Oklahoma City.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, getting to travel all over the country, Daniel. I mean, when my daughter was playing soccer tournaments, they're going like Arkansas and Alabama. I was like, wrong sport.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun can be had in Byhalia, Mississippi.
Truth. But the big question, you commit to Oklahoma. We say it all the time. We know the prestige, the coaches, and everything. The first question I got, was there any other considerations, or was this the dream school? This is where you wanted to go?
Going into my recruiting, I was pretty open. I visited Utah, Oklahoma, Florida, and LSU. And then I was also supposed to visit Arkansas and Alabama, but I ended up canceling those visits because I just knew Oklahoma was where I wanted to be. But I mean, being in Washington, I was pretty sure that I wanted to be in the SEC because I think it's just such a power conference. But I wanted to go into it with a pretty open mind because you really don't get to talk to the coaching staffs until June 15th. So I didn't really want to have a dream school. And then it ended up being like I didn't really love the coaching staff or something just didn't vibe right. So I really wanted to go into it with an open mind to make sure that I could fall in love with the place that it was and everything that it was, the coaching staff, the environment, the team. I
gotta talk to my girls Haley and Kaya and Aaliyah and know what they did. I mean, you were at LSU; they should have locked you in. They didn't do their job. No, you made the right choice. Even as an LSU fan, I know that Oklahoma's the place. But what was the one thing? Because we know they have all the things, but what was the one thing that made Oklahoma the spot you wanted to go to the most?
I would say the culture for sure. I think the culture there is truly unmatched. I think the coaching staff does a fantastic job. The girls are truly one cohesive whole. And that was something that I was really looking for during my recruiting, was to be on a team where, everyone had your back. And I could really feel that when it was there. And the Sooner magic was definitely there when I visited. So I think the culture was something that really brought me there.
Absolutely. So, Oklahoma has a unique situation. Obviously, you got the upperclassmen that are just absolutely elite, but you have 6 freshmen who have been making their mark. Obviously, Fada, Miller, Peterson, and the list goes on. How excited are you? Because, a lot of times you come in and all the girls may be on their way out the door, but you got this group that you're going to get to compete with for 3 more years, along with your friends that are coming in. So how excited are you to have them that are going to have a year under their belt of experience, like you said, that culture, and y'all are going to be able to compete with them and lean into them?
Yeah, I'm beyond excited. I've gotten to meet all of them, and not only are they fantastic gymnasts, but they're also just amazing people. And I got to compete with a couple of them at Nastia last year as well. So I've been able to see what it's like to compete with them. And I just can't wait. I think they're amazing people and gymnasts, and I think they're going to inspire me to be the best version of myself. So I can't wait to get in the gym with them every day and, learn new techniques and new tips from them after this year that they've had underneath their belt. So I can't wait to see where that's going to take the team in the future.
Absolutely. So when you get to college, Daniel, we've never asked this, but you competed against the girls that you're coming in with. You competed against some of those girls we're talking about as freshmen. Do y'all ever for fun, the bragging rights because y'all beat each other, or once you get to college, all that stuff's in the past?
I would say it's probably in the past. I mean, we all kind of go through similar things in our gymnastics. experience in our journeys. So I think it's important to always have everybody's back. And I'm a firm believer in karma. So I think it's important to put good karma out in the world, and it will find its way back to you.
The baseball boys are completely different. And Daniel will tell you, guys join each other. And if they hit a home run or struck them out or whatever the case, they're going to remind them every day if they can. So I think guys are just different in general, Daniel.
Yeah. It's ruthless in baseball, because you might face a guy 10 times and you might get them out one time, and it's always the one time like that you did something that everyone talks about. But it's definitely a different world on the diamond for sure.
So we talk about, we had Ellen Murphy on here. I believe Kendall Torrance. Like, I think there was like 4 or 5 of y'all. What's the group that's coming in? Because I've seen the pictures y'all have hung out. Do you know everybody's name who's coming in with y'all?
Yeah. So the 2025s, there's Ella, me, Camila, and Blakely. They're the people who will be joining this fall. And yeah.
So when I know a lot of times, you get there early in the summer, getting to work is, do y'all happen to know if that's how it's going to be? Like when y'all are going to get there and start training and everything?
Yeah. So I think the 3 of them are from Texas. So they'll be getting there at the beginning of June. I think like June 7th, their class starts. I'm from Washington, so I don't graduate high school until June 14th. So I can't actually go to college because I don't have my high school diploma. So I'm going to be going later in July, the first week of July.
School till mid-June, Daniel. Can't do it, bro.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But no, I think that's great. The fact that y'all get there early, I think me and Daniel have heard that from all y'all. I think that's what makes gymnastics, so elite, like putting in work year round. You don't take time off. You get there summer, classes already start, getting your academics up. We haven't had, a gymnast yet that came on and had bad grades. So like, I feel like y'all are so meticulous. You work so hard. So no surprise. But last question I got, anybody can win in gymnastics, but when you look at the college teams, obviously there's a lot of teams up there, but it just feels like Oklahoma and LSU is who it's going to be. Would you take Oklahoma and LSU against the field, or would you take the field?
I definitely would take Oklahoma against the field.
Good answer.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was obviously at the LSU Oklahoma meet. Oklahoma brought the best out in LSU because I've been to multiple LSU meets this year. I've watched them on TV. They were hitting everything. There wasn't like over scores. Like they were doing that, and I couldn't believe it. And then Oklahoma just had no sticky feet like they're normally doing. Is like, this isn't what I'm used to seeing, but we know what came from that because it's kind of funny. The Jordan Bowers interview we had, she talked about during her sophomore season when they had lost, I believe to Utah, just how that lit a fire. And me and Daniel talked about them losing to LSU was the worst thing that could happen to anybody because now they're as if they could really do any better. They're just killing it. And, they're not getting overscored. I think they're, I don't know if they get punished for being consistent and good, but I would take them over anybody. But I definitely think LSU's that other team. It'll be fun. Do you get to, will you be able to go to like Fort Worth and watch anything like that? Or are you too busy training?
Yeah, I'm going to be going up for the second day this year. So
could be a magical day.
Yes.
Well, normally we don't do this on the episodes, but being that you are committed to Oklahoma and she is an Oklahoma gymnast, this week's SEC Gymnast of the Week is Jordan Bowers. So I wanted to play this clip real quick for everybody to see.
Regular lineup. She's had a perfect 10 in her career on the uneven bars. She is ranked number 4 nationally this week on this rotation.
I've been talking about landings all night, but Coach Kindler said that she's really been working on her dismount on bars. Beautiful start to that stick. This is her final routine in the Lloyd Noble Center. Let's see if she goes out with the bang. And she gets that stick.
And what we talked about, Daniel, 9.975 for her and Audrey. They just won't give it, man. But they have, I think, Daniel, I think Faith has gotten it, whether she's gotten it or split it. I think she's got SEC Gymnast of the Week 4 times, and then Jordan and Audrey have got it 3 and 2. Like it's Oklahoma every week, except for the week that Finnegan got it, which was week 1.
I mean, they might as well just say it's the Oklahoma Award and just give it to whoever. But Kenzie, we got to get to a game called This or That. You ready to play a game?
Yeah.
It's a very lighthearted, fun way to end the episode. It's very simple. We have a lot of baseball players, so I got to keep these games really simple. All right, so I'm not trying to insult your intelligence because you are smart, but that's really why it's so easy is because I got these guys on here and they get confused really quickly. So, but it's simple. I give you 2 options. You choose one option or the other. Can't say both. Can't say neither. Just go with your head. Go with your heart. Go with your your gut. Whatever. Just be decisive and pick one.
Okay.
Jim, this or that. Who's it brought to you by?
Jesus One Apparel. We've talked about it, the athletes starting the conversation by wearing the apparel, and I'm excited to bring it up on this episode because I told you Danielle Sievers and Faith Torres were the first 2 I thought about, the first 2 I reached out. They're getting it set up. They're going to have it in Oklahoma colors, and obviously I don't know what they're going to raise their money toward, what mission, but I know that I'll be purchasing, and I want to wear them, and I want to help whatever cause those ladies would want to be a part of because Mackenzie's talked about the culture, and those girls are the best of the best, not just when they're competing, but as people.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, here we go. Fresh little lineup of this or that questions coming right at you with the first one. All right, very easy, very easy. Remember, gummy bears or chocolate? What you got?
Oh, chocolate probably.
What's your favorite candy bar? Chocolate candy bar.
Oh, I feel like 100 grands are pretty good.
I mean, that is like that's
I've
not
never
a typical answer. I mean, they're good, but I mean they're okay. Okay, they're okay. But hey, if that's what you like.
Remember when I told you a few months ago, my pastor at my church said he eats 0 bars, and I didn't even know that was a real candy bar.
Believe it or not, when he told us that, I went to the grocery store, and lo and behold, right there, checking out, there it is, the 0 bar. They make like a family-size version of it too. Go figure. I would have never thought that. Next question: country music or pop music?
Country music.
Who's your go-to country music artist?
Probably Morgan Wallen.
Oh, all right, and that's it for tonight's episode. Y'all be good. We're out. No, not a fan of Morgan Wallen. He cancels a lot of concerts. Rubs me the wrong way. Does some funny business. But hey,
makes good songs.
He's doing okay without Daniels.
He is. He's doing just fine without me as a fan, and I'm sure he's totally okay with that. History or science? If you had to choose one.
Science.
Science. What's your favorite type of science?
Chemistry.
Chemistry. Yeah, I had a feeling. Mini golf or bowling? What you got?
Oh, mini golf.
I mean, who has never been to mini golf and not had a good time? Now, I've been bowling and not had a good time, but never.
I'm gonna be honest. Have you taken your daughters yet, Daniel?
Yeah, and I worked them. Everybody.
Maybe you got lucky. When mine start doing bad, it wasn't fun anymore. So you said not having a good time. Watching them throw their club down, throw tantrums was not fun.
My oldest daughter, Kenzie, she loves it. Loves it. She could care less, like, if it takes her 10 tries. Like, she could care less if she wins, like mini golf. Other things she cares about winning, but mini golf is not one of them. She just likes to pick her colored ball and pick her putter. And she likes to try to hit, like, the hardest route possible, and she'll hit it 100 times and then pull it back and do it all over again.
These putt courses are so much better too, Daniel. I mean, they make them friendly on the eyes, whereas we were literally just playing like, you remember putt in Memphis, like it was just basic green, with maybe some hills or objects in the way.
I mean, pine needles all over the place.
Hey, that place is still running though. It's older than us.
Man, go ahead, putt, get after it. I see you. All right, sneakers or boots?
Sneakers.
Sneakers. Are you a sneakerhead?
I wouldn't say I'm a sneakerhead. No, I kind of stick more with slippers.
Hey, I can deal with some slippers. All right.
This next question is the one I'm most excited about.
Friends or Grey's Anatomy?
Oh, it's a really hard question, actually. I'm probably just gonna go with Grey's Anatomy just because I just started rewatching all the seasons.
Oh, bless you. It's gonna take you until you die to watch all of those episodes.
I stopped after like season 15. After Derek dies, it's just not as good anymore.
I mean, they're still making episodes.
I am mad that we started watching. Me and my wife started watching well after that show had started. But after what's his name? He did the 007 on his hand. What's that? The guy that dies. Yeah. When George died, look, man, if I gotta actively cry during a TV show because somebody just died abruptly, man, I'm out. Like, I can't do it.
All right. Living in Washington now, stay away from Seattle Grace Hospital because I mean, you see what happens there. I mean, they save a lot of lives, but it's like one catastrophe after the next. Like,
thankfully we don't have it here.
I mean, how many of these doctors gotta die before they start looking into the practices going on at Seattle Grace? I mean,
I was hoping that she would say Grey's Anatomy because it was the one that we had both watched, and so we could all talk about it. Because you're not a Friends guy, are you, Daniel?
I mean, I've seen most of the Friends, but like,
I've seen them all since I'm sober, and if it's on TV, I'll still watch it. I love Friends.
Friends is a great show.
It's a good show. It's not a great show.
It's a red flag for me if somebody says they don't like Friends. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you I don't like it, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
You also don't like rom-coms, so I judge you already.
That's fine. Judge me all day. What would you rather have? No money or no internet?
Oh, no internet.
You gotta have that money. You can go buy some more internet.
I told my wife we added this question in, and she goes, "There's no way you'd be able to handle no money." And I said, "Think about no internet. So I would never be able to stream and watch all the sports that we watch. I'd have no way to watch sports. That's the death of me, bro. I would never be able to watch gymnastics, baseball. Football? Are you kidding me?"
Well, I mean, you can look at this question a couple ways. With no money, that means you could not afford internet, or without internet, you couldn't find a way to make money.
I'm gonna take the Wi-Fi from my neighbor. You crazy?
I feel like there's a lot of things you can do with money. Like you could travel, you could go see like all the things the world has to offer. So I feel like
go buy some books and read.
Yeah,
I like her answer a lot better. I'd rather not read, but I'll definitely travel.
Yeah.
All right. Concert or sporting event?
Sporting event.
What is a bucket list sporting event for you?
I don't know. I feel like watching the Olympics would be cool.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, obviously, gymnastics. Is that what you'd want to watch?
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I think there's a lot. Track's also pretty interesting. I think track's fun to watch.
Well, yeah,
swimming and track.
You get more than the one sport, but I think the part that she'd like about it, she talked about traveling, where all the places she went. So you also, when you go to the Olympics, obviously you're going to go to an amazing city, and they put all that effort and money into it. So it's a whole experience.
Absolutely.
A few years, you'll get to go to LA. It'll be right there. Who knows? They might have events in Washington. You never know. So that's a possibility. Big question. Vault or bars? If you had to pick one and only one to do, vault or bars?
Oh. Bars probably.
Oh. All right. What about floor or beam?
Beam for sure.
All right. Let's take the winner. The winners of both of them. Bars or beam? What you taking?
Oh. That's a hard question. Probably beam.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. She's crazy. Crazy.
You're the second crazy person. Like, we don't ever get to answer, and somehow we've gotten it like 2 in the last few weeks. Y'all know what y'all are doing.
Unbelievable.
Now that excites me, Daniel, because that means we're going to see some fantastic beam routines in the future from her, because if that's her favorite, I'm confident she's really good at it.
She's going to dominate. She's good at all of them. Let's just be real. She's
I mean,
the
that's
2025
the
Nasty
reality.
Lucan Cup all-around champ.
Well, that's the reality on Oklahoma, right? They got an unprecedented thing going on. They got 3 freshmen doing all around, every week, which is something you just don't see. And you look at the girls coming in, like there's probably a couple more. It's like, it's tough for the specialists because they have to find a way in because you got so many doing the all around.
Yeah.
Very true. Well, Mackenzie, it is time to let you run. Anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
I don't think so. I guess thanks to everyone who helped me get here.
I will say this, Daniel, when you talk about plugging our YouTube, as she has been, since we first talked to her, before she was even going to come on the show, was grabbing the clips, putting them on because she was the Oklahoma commit. So, and just like our other ones, she's getting thousands and thousands, but that's not the point of me saying that. If you want to see her content, obviously outside of just going to her Instagram, you can go to our YouTube and type in her name and you'll be able to see it and you will be impressed nonetheless.
Thank you so much.
For real. Well,
I got a question for you actually before you cut her loose now. I didn't think about this. So the Piper Gal girl on Instagram?
Maybe, probably.
So it's her account. She's uncommitted and she's doing insane things in all 4 events. And so I messaged her and I was like, you're uncommitted. Like, are you just trying to think? And she goes, no one's offered. And like, I see these things and I get like if Oklahoma or LSU isn't offering, but like I watch enough, not very good gymnastics from some teams to watch her. And I'm like, I can't get it. And she even has on her thing because it's her, like I said, it's her recruiting profile. I mean, she's got a 4.3 GPA, so it's not a grades thing. Like, unless this girl's been arrested and I don't know about it, I'm just trying to figure out how somebody hasn't picked this girl up. So I didn't know if maybe you knew who she was and maybe why, because I'm very curious.
Yeah. I mean, I think sometimes some people like peak a little bit later too. And I think my coaches did a great job of kind of making sure that our names were put out there to all the college coaches, and they do a great job of getting coaches into the gym. So sometimes I think having a coaching staff that kind of puts effort and helps you recruit as well is really important. And thankfully my coaching staff did a fantastic job to make sure that everybody in our gym had an opportunity to be seen by people. So, but hopefully she finds her spot.
Well, I mean, I hope everybody, I think there's a spot out there for everybody. I hope everyone finds a spot.
Yeah.
And
there's enough teams out there. You see how many teams are getting gymnastics teams. Well, I mean, we talk about all the time, Texas A&M, Tennessee, schools in the SEC, that there are fans, in their group and that want gymnastics. They see the other teams have it. And I think at some point there's going to be enough want for it that these other schools are going to build programs.
There's a spot for everyone. You just got to find it.
Well said. Well said. Well, Kenzie, we're going to let you run. I appreciate your time. We hope you have a safe, happy, successful, injury-free rest of your season. That way we can look forward to you hitting it hard at Oklahoma, because they're ready, and I know you're ready to be there.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. That is Kenzie Estep. If you like hearing Mackenzie's story, or you just like hearing Average Joe's talk X's and O's, please share the podcast on Facebook. Head over to YouTube, click like, click subscribe, hit notifications. That way you're first to know when new content is uploaded. We will be back tomorrow. We got some good ones coming at you, so be ready for that. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We're out.